Hello, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Chris Cruz with Fishing for God Ministry. And if your day isn't going well, hopefully by the end of today's message, something in the scripture will brighten your day a little bit and just turn things around. And if things are going well, hopefully we can be an encouragement and a light in someone else's world, in someone else's life. So we're going to go ahead and start today with chapter 17 in the book of Matthew, and that is beginning at verse 1. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. There he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah, talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud enveloped them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." Okay, so this is God talking to the disciples there, and he's basically telling them that he is the Son of God. When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified, but Jesus came and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus instructed them, "Don't tell anyone what you have seen until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." The disciples asked him, "Why then do the teachers of the law say that Elijah must come first?" Jesus replied, "To be sure, Elijah comes and will restore all things. But I tell you, Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him, but have done to him everything they wished. In the same way, the Son of Man is going to suffer at their hands." Then the disciples understood that he was talking to them about John the Baptist. When they came to the crowd, a man approached Jesus and knelt before him. "Lord, have mercy on my son," he said. "He has seizures and is suffering greatly. He often falls into the fire or into the water. I brought him to your disciples, but they could not heal him." "O unbelieving and perverse generation," Jesus replied, "how long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy here to me." Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of the boy, and he was healed from that moment. Then the disciples came to Jesus in private and asked, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" And this is real important as far as our faith, why Jesus is about to tell them why they couldn't drive him out. So when it comes to us and we have things that pop into our mind that we don't want there, that we know aren't from God, and they are from Satan, and we got to get them gone. And this is kind of what we need to keep in mind as far as Jesus' reply. He replied, "Because you have so little faith, I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." When they came together in Galilee, he said to them, "The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into the hands of men. They will kill him, and on the third day he will be raised to life." And the disciples were filled with grief. So this is where Jesus is preparing the way. He's telling them, look, there's going to be a lot of bad coming, but at the same time, everything is going to be good in the long run, in the big picture, because this is what God's will is. This is what God had predestined for us. So it's what has got to be in order for, hopefully, man to understand the importance of the sacrifices we have to make not only toward God but one another. After Jesus and his disciples arrived in Capernaum, the collectors of the 2 drachma tax came to Peter and asked, "Doesn't your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Yes, he does," he replied. When Peter came into the house, Jesus was the first to speak. "What do you think, Simon?" he asked. "From who do the kings of the earth collect duty and taxes? From their own sons or from others?" "From others," Peter answered. "Then the sons are exempt," Jesus said to him. "But so that we may not offend them, go to the lake and throw out line. Take the first fish you catch. Open its mouth and you will find a 4 drachma coin. Take it and give it to them for my tax and yours." So think of this miracle of God, when God tells us to do something, even something small that we don't think it is possible in any way, but he tells us to do it, and when we do obey what he commands us to do, so many great things can happen, but we don't know unless we take that leap of faith. So life is continually going to confront us with those times when we have to take a leap of faith so that we can grow in faith. Now, this is the end of chapter 17, so we're going to end this here. And hopefully some in today's message or today's scripture really help bring a bright spot into our life. And for me, it does every time. So thanks for your time. And hopefully you have a great, blessed day. And love and peace to you and yours. And talk to you soon.